Hello, and welcome to the first episode of my Payday 2 solo stealth series. My goal for this series is going to be to do every stealthable mission on Death Wish. I'm going to be trying to explain how I do them, good ideas for them. That way, players who are looking to get into stealthing, experienced players who just never got into it before, or new players who want to try it, I want this to be sort of like a guide for that. So, like guard patrols, good places to put bags, good skills to have for certain missions, good equipment to have for certain missions, stuff like that is what I'm going to try to focus on. And of course, I'll be explaining what I'm doing and why I'm doing it while I'm going through the mission. So, for my skills, I've got Forced Friendship, that's extra cable ties, Confident, extra intimidation range, Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is really important for certain missions like Bank Heist. It causes civilians to be intimidated by any noise you make, and they remain intimidated longer. This is really, really handy for missions like Bank Heist and the Ukrainian job, jewelry store, stuff like that, where you really don't have enough zip ties as a solo stealther to control all the civilians, and in addition, you really can't yell at them all at the same time because they're so spread out. So if you have this, you can take an unsilenced gun and use that to intimidate the civilians, and then because they remain intimidated longer, you can choose whether or not you want to kill them. Next up, Transporter. This is for the extra bag throwing distance. Very, very handy, both just for moving bags and on certain missions where you can only make certain throws with this ability, so always get this. It's only 3 points, super cheap. Extra ammo for when I need to bring the saw, extra saw, ammo, and efficiency, again, for when I need to bring the saw. Jack of all trades, this lets me bring in 2 different deployables, so I can bring in ECMs and body bags, or ECMs and ammo for when I want to saw, or ECMs and trip mines for when there's too many guards to kill. Like there's 6 guards, I can't actually kill them all and answer all the pagers, so I can use these trip mines to have another way of tracking guards. Drill Sergeant, this is just for faster drill times. When you're stealthing, a drill can take 6 minutes, or it can take 30% less than that. I guess that would be 2 minutes less. Little less than 2 minutes. Ghost. Everything in Shinobi aced. Everything in Shinobi is really helpful. Once you have the points for this, you should ace the entire tree. This is faster sprinting and faster stamina regen. Really handy for avoiding guards. Parkour, extra move speed, avoiding guards, moving bags. Extra concealment, and that's it. So, I do have 5 points free. I haven't decided where I want to put those yet. If I remember, I will let you guys know when I figure it out. As for items, always going to have a 2-piece suit. Always going to have ECM jammers along with something else. There are a few missions where this isn't true, like Hoxton Revenge. There's almost no point in bringing ECM jammers. You can still use it to stop a pager or to stop a camera, but it also stops the time lock. So again, there are certain missions where bringing ECMs is not ideal. Next up, weapons. I'm just going to use the money bundle. You can really use anything as long as it has 30 concealment, or honestly, as long as it doesn't drop your detection any lower than it is, then you can use whatever you want. But generally, you want to just use a 30 conceal weapon. I'm using Ace of Spades for my throwable. You can use whatever. I just use Ace of Spades because it's silent, and so if I accidentally throw a grenade, I'm not going to set off the alarm. Oh, actually, I know where I want my 5 points, I think. That's going to cost me 6 points. I need 1 more point. Can I get 1 more point? Do I really not have 1 more point that I can free up? Huh. Okay, I'm going to have to think about that. I'd like to get Berserker for the extra saw speed, but it's not worth dropping anything else right now. Okay, so primary weapon. There are 3 different primary weapons that I generally use for stealth. That is the Ove 9000 Saw. This is just for missions where you need to saw stuff. I have the FAMAS, or the Clarion rather. This, honestly, I don't... The only reason I use this is because personal preference, I like the Clarion, I like the way it looks, I like the way it feels, I like the way it plays. And I can use it even though it has a low concealment because my secondary has a really good concealment. And I'm still at 3 conceal. Generally, you're actually going to want to use a Car 4. The reason for this is because it's the easiest weapon to get to 30 conceal. Or, I should say, it's one of the few weapons that can get to 30 conceal without sacrificing a ton of other stuff. So yeah, personal preference. I like using the Clarion just because I can. Most people are going to be using the Car 4 just because it's got a really high conceal rating. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my Car 4 to be not silenced. That way I've got a gun that I can use that just won't have a silencer. And that's for Stockholm Syndrome. But because we're doing Bank Heist, I'm going to be using the Saw. Now, normally I would be using this, the Gruber Kurz, but I want to show you guys something with the Judge. This is actually really important to know. Shotguns will launch enemies. Now, I'm sure that while you know that, it has implications for stealth that it doesn't in Loud. In Loud, you launch someone and it looks cool and yay. But in stealth, you can launch them outside of camera view or other guard view. So if a guard sees you and he's standing under a camera, you can shoot him with a shotgun and get him out of that camera sight before the camera sees him. And I'm going to try to show that off, not necessarily with a camera seeing him, but just in general. Do I not have a concealment mod that I can... No, darn. Oh well. So just in general, I want to show you the way it can launch guards and how you could possibly use it to get around a guard past a corner that he normally wouldn't be. Perk deck, Burglar, it's the only perk deck that helps with stealth, so there you go. And now that whole intro, I know that was a bit long. I'm only going to do that on that first video, just so that if anyone is like, what's his build, what's he using, what weapon, yada yada, I can just link him to my first video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is a bank heist. All the bank heists are exactly the same. The only difference between them is that one of them has gold, one of them has cash, and one of them only has the deposit boxes. That is literally the only difference. So we're going to do the gold one because it's a pro job, and that'll get me more XP.
It will come in handy. I'm sure of it.
So that's 3 spy cams and
you are
a key card. Now,
as they
this is the way I set this up. I always get all 3 spy cams and a key card. Reason being, you can pick up the key card and casing, so you can immediately get into wherever the security room is. And the spy cams, as long as the guards are anywhere inside of the building, the spy cams will let you know where they are. So you can basically always know where all 4 guards are.
Now, we convert this preparation into...
That should be it. Okay, let's do this.
Hoxhud initialized.
Okay, folks.
Now, I am using Hoxhud. If you don't know what Hoxhud is, it is a game mod. Ooh, I don't want to mask up yet. It is a game mod that allows you to see information that would normally not necessarily be available. So up in the top right, you can see that I have 4 pagers left.
Got it.
There are 4 guards left on the map. I'm carrying 2 body bags. There are 10 gauge packages, and I don't have any hostages. Those are what those 5 things mean. Now, I know that there are some people that feel like Hoxhud is sort of cheating. I don't feel that way. I think that Hoxhud shows you stuff that should have been shown anyways. Like, basically, it's information that should have been told to you in the game anyways. It should have been in the base game. Maybe not knowing how many guards there are, but that's just something that you're going to learn after you've played a mission a couple of times. Like, I know there are 4 guards on this mission. I don't need Hoxhud to tell me that. I know that there are 5 guards on framing frame day 3. So having Hawkshud tell me stuff like that, it's nice because I'm not going to forget how many guards I've killed and have to go back and do it again. Or, go back and count how many guards I've killed to know how many pagers I have left, stuff like that. It's just, it stops me from having to remember these things myself, which frees me up to think about other things. So, shotgun. Note. Normally, he would have died and his head might have landed somewhere around here, so I'd have to body bag him. But because I've got this shotgun, I can guarantee that he's going to be sitting in this corner when he dies. Or post-death. So, bank heist. First thing you want to do, get the cameras. Always, always get the cameras first. The only time that that is not true is if a guard has walked out to, say, like here, where he's an easy kill and there's no cameras, or he walks up to the roof and just sort of stands here where he's an easy kill and no one's going to see him, and there actually is a camera right there. So again, get the cameras first, because if you kill a guard here and you didn't see that camera in time, you're done. It's over. Alright, so next up, you can, again, these spy cams doing work, I can see where all 3 of these guards are. I know where all 3 of these guards are at all times, so it makes it really, really easy to tell when it's a good time to kill one. Like right now, I can't really kill any of them. There are certain spots on this map that are kill zones. This hallway is a kill zone, because nothing can see into that hallway except the guards that might walk through it. So as long as you know that there isn't a guard coming for that hallway, you know that it's safe to kill someone. Oh, and the manager. I suppose that's a note that should be made. I'm going to lose this mission.
Hey! Watch where you're shooting!
Maybe I'm not.
Lie down. Down! Lie down.
Fuck it.
All good, just waiting on this coffee to wear off.
That guard is going to see that. Okay, so that actually worked out. That was totally my bad. I didn't think the manager was going to walk through that, like, from here straight that way. I thought he was going to go to his office, and so I took way too long getting out. That was my bad. Now the question is, where is that guard going to go? Okay, so he's going to park in that corner. So my next job is to take care of this body, because if that guard comes around, I want him to be dead there, not somewhere over there. Alright, so I'll move the body into there. This guard is coming. He might walk into this hallway. Okay, we're good. Now this guard is going to come out. I'm going to kill him. There we go. And as long as that guard doesn't come around that corner before I can finish this pager, we're all done. Or I shouldn't say we're all done. There is one other way to lose this mission. The civilians could phone, or you can get the alarm set off by those tellers.
Everything's cool, nothing doing.
Now that teller alarm, and actually there's another button too. There's a few silent alarm buttons in this place. There's 3 actually in front of the tellers, and there's 1 here. So you need to make sure that these civvies are controlled, and you need to make sure that these tellers are controlled. And I'm actually going to just kill them, because every so often you yell at them and they just ignore you and press the button anyways. So in the interest of not failing the mission, I'm just going to kill
the deck. Front leaning rest.
Down.
How about you get down?
Thank you. Oh, this is another thing that Hawkshud does. Note the different color.
Down on the ground.
Orange means that they are not safe. That means that
Stay where you are.
Still standing up, and they might make a phone call. Green means that they are down completely. Now, obviously, I'm out of zip ties here, so I have a choice. I can either kill all these guys, or I can leave them alive. I'm just going to kill them because, honestly... Okay, Bane's done. I'm just going to kill him now, because I've had a couple of times where I'm watching the drill, and the civilian, like, starts getting up, and then immediately calls the police, and I just don't have enough time to get to them and yell at them, which is extremely irritating. So, rather than having that happen, I'm just going to kill them all. Speaking of which, there's always a couple of wanderers out and about. Like, see that guy right there? there's always 3, I think, wanderers. It does vary a little bit, I think, but in general, there's going to be 3 civilians wandering around outside. So if you've killed or captured 3 civilians, you're done. See, there's 2, and I'm not going to kill him yet because he's actually outside of the map. I don't want to take the chance that he'll run away where I can't shoot him. And I've got a shotgun, so there's really no guaranteeing that I'll hit him at that range.
You couldn't stop yourself, could you? Well, the world's a better place without that bastard. But
Now,
Luke will be disappointed he wasn't part of it. So you better leave the other one for him.
wow, Bane, hush. Okay, so these 2 guys, they're always there now. I don't know what they're for. It looks like they're part of a storyline thing. But honestly, I've taken them to the van a couple of times, and it doesn't actually appear to do anything.
Alright.
So once you've got all the civilians down, and you've got the drill started, you're pretty much done. You do want to keep half an eye out because, again, I know that there's at least one more wandering civvy. See, like, there's the white shirt one, and I know that there's a blue shirt wandering civvy around somewhere. I just don't know where he is. So I know there's one more civvy around that I have to watch out for. But, you know, he'll give me enough time to come and kill him once he freaks out. Oh, this guy's still up. There's a guard that's dead right here, dude. You're so blind.
Stay low.
Oh, I don't have cable ties. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so there were 2 more civvies that I had to watch out for. Now these... I'm also picking up these gauge packages, mostly because I don't have anything else to do. Like, I've got 2 minutes. I have 2 minutes where I have nothing to do. So I've pretty much memorized where these gauge package locations are, and I just run around and grab them while I'm waiting for the drill to finish. It doesn't give you too much. Like, for me, I've got so many of these gauge modifications, I don't need any more, ever. But they do give you a little bit of extra XP, so, I mean, I've got 2 minutes with nothing else to do. I could go and watch a YouTube video, or I could run around and grab the packages. Since I'm making a YouTube video, I think I'll run around and grab the packages instead of, you know, making you watch a blank screen for 2 minutes. See, I just took all those points out of drill skills, and now I have to run over and restart it instead of just, like, normally I would just do that and it would start back up. But, on that note, even if it did work, it would have only saved me, like, 10 seconds, so it's not really worth the points, it's just I hate restarting drills. Ugh. Okay, so, nothing there. Nothing there. Nope. Oh, there's one.
Oh,
And... yeah, last one. Okay, cool.
Alright.
So that's all the packages. I've still got another minute to go here. What else can I talk about? Let's see. On this particular map, okay, so there's, on this map, this may be recovering information that everyone already knows, but there's 2 different spawns for the vault, and there's 2 different spawns for the security office. The security office can spawn there, or it can spawn where it did here. The vault can spawn here, or it can spawn here where it did. There's not a big difference between the 2 different spawns. The biggest issue with the camera room is if it spawns here, then sometimes this door will be shut and you'll have to lockpick it, and if you have to lockpick it, sometimes there's a camera there. And if there's a camera there, you can't lockpick this door. So, if you have skills, you can just camera loop that camera, open this door, and then get into this camera room anyways. But if you don't have those skills, like say you're low level and you're just trying to do this mission for XP, then you may have to restart if it spawns there, simply because it's going to be almost impossible to get in. Okay, so I'm just going to roll this here, and I will move it after I'm done opening up the rest of Whip Bats and ECM.
Got an ammo refill here.
Actually, I've got 2 ECMs. I should, Oh, that's another thing. I'm sure everyone knows this, but ATMs can be opened with either ECMs or a saw. So if you happen to save both your ECMs, you won't have to saw these ATMs open. Save a little bit of saw ammo. I think it also takes less time. Okay. So now that that's all done, come on, there we go. Sawing. This is not too big a deal, but basically, sawing safes, I've seen a lot of people that bring saws but don't really know how to saw safes open. Deposit boxes, if you have no damage skills, as in you're not running Berserker, you're just running a durable blade with a silent motor, which is what I'm running, it takes 2 taps to saw open a deposit box. That's the way I found that works best for me. And it's not like duration taps, like it's not like you're holding it down or anything. Although you can if you want, obviously that does work. But every so often, you know, you're not going to hold it down for quite long enough, and there's like a minimum amount of saw that it'll use in order to open up the deposit box. So if you don't hold it down for long enough, it just straight won't open the deposit box, and then you're wasting saw. Or at least that's how I see it. So I prefer to just double tap it really quick, and I might still be wasting a little more saw than I should, but I find that this works best because the double tap is always going to open it, no matter what, as long as you don't miss. And so instead of having to hold it down for a period of time, which you have to sort of get used to, you can just double tap it and it'll open up the safe. If you have Berserker skills, and so you have more sawing speed, this is not really the best way at that point. At that point, you'd probably be better off just holding it down or just hitting it once. But because I don't have Berserker skills, this will do. And honestly, Berserker skills isn't really necessary. Again, it's just a speed thing. If you have the Berserker skills, you'll be able to do this much faster. If you don't have Berserker skills, you can still do it. It'll just take you more time. And, sorry I don't have any more to talk about here, but it's, yeah. Open deposit boxes, move cash. I'm not going to do it for this video, but in future I may just speed these bits up. Like, I may go through all the active parts and talk throughout them. But then when I get to bits like this, where I'm just moving bags and sawing open deposit boxes, I may just move it into a super speed. 1, 2, come on. 2, 3. Okay, is that everything? Pull out my other gun, because that one blocks so much of my sight. Okay, first things first, I'm just going to throw all these bags out here. Okay, this is actually pretty good. I didn't get much gold, like, base, but the deposit boxes have a decent amount of stuff in them, at least. Could have had more gold. I think it ranges from, like, you can have a minimum of 2 gold and a maximum of, like, 5, I think. And we got 3, so we're tending toward the lower end, but, you know, at least we got, like, 3 bags of cash and a bag of gold out of the deposit boxes, which is pretty good. Could have gotten another bag of gold out of the deposit boxes, I think. I'd have been happy with that. And I mean, it's not like I need the money anyways, so there's that. Okay. Whoop, I missed one. Alright, now to move these bags. Where is my... Oh god, it's all the way over there. Why? Why? Okay. I'm just gonna throw them. So I've never actually been able to tell if it's faster to just walk the bags or throw them. I kind of assume that it's faster to throw them because the bag can continue moving while you go and pick up another one. But, you know, they both take a fairly long amount of time. And the other thing is the gold, it doesn't feel like the gold is any faster because you can barely throw it at all. Maybe cash is faster, but gold isn't. But that's alright. Either way. There should still be one more wandering civvy. I'm really surprised that we haven't seen him. Like, we watched him walk off the map over there, and I know we saw the white-shirted civvy walk back onto it, but the one that walked off was a blue-shirted civvy, so I'm like, I've kind of been paranoid this entire time. This entire time I've been waiting for him to see something.
Take it all if you can.
So... And, I'm thinking I'm going to go for all the bags on every mission. So, like, if I do a bank job, I'll make sure I get all the deposit boxes. If I do a jewelry store, I'll make sure I get all the jewelry. I'm not gonna do stealth. I'm not gonna do quick stealth missions. Like, obviously, this bank heist would have been much faster if I just opened the vault, grabbed the bags, thrown one or all the available bags into the car, and just not done the boxes. Would have saved me a few minutes because, you know, I wouldn't have to move all those extra bags. I wouldn't have had to saw open all the deposit boxes. So it would have been much quicker, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to stick with getting all the bags because that's what stealth is to me. It's not... Stealth isn't, hey, can I do this mission at the absolute minimum? Or, hey, can I ECM rush this mission? Which you can do with a lot of stealth missions. You can just, you know, if you've got 4 people, you can just ECM rush it. Or, if you screw up, you can just ECM for 1 minute while you move all the bags. And I may actually end up having to do that, especially, like, on Framing Frame. Framing Frame is really easy to screw up and have to do that on. So, something like that I'd be okay with. But it has to be all the bags. Like, if I ECM rush it and I only get 6 out of 8 bags, I'll redo it. It's got to be all of them. So that's it. This is the last bag. Oh, that's the other thing about Hawkside. Note, up in the top right, it shows you how many bags you have left. It won't show you ones that are being carried, and it won't show you sometimes the ones that are in deposit boxes. I don't think it'll show you those. But once you've got them out on the ground, or they're sitting on a table, like the gold bars that were on the table, you can see those. So it makes it much easier to tell, you know, how many bags you've got. Like Framing Frame Day 1, it's really handy on, because you can tell how many paintings there are. And that, I'll admit, might be a little bit cheaty, but yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I like Hawkside enough that I'm going to continue using it anyways. Oh, it didn't level me. No, I'm so close. Alright, I think I'm just going to do a Ukrainian job after this. Because that'll be fairly quick. Oh, I got an extended mag for a deagle. Wicked. I'm going to have to put that on. Inventory. Do I still have my Akimbo deagles? I don't think I do. I think I sold them. I did sell them. Alright, I'll have to put it on later. Where do I have it? Here. No, this one already has one. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that's the first mission of the series. I think I'll do Ukrainian job next, like I said, simply because I need... Look at how much XP I need. That's nothing. So Ukrainian job will be quick and easy. That'll get me level 100, and then I'll start moving on to the other stealth missions. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, leave me a like. If you didn't, leave me a dislike. And if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it, honestly. You know, this shit's boring. Go do something else. You suck. Whatever. I'll hear it all. obviously I would enjoy it more if you tell me how amazing I am and how helpful this is, but, if you just want to tell me how much I suck, that's okay too. Feel free to leave a comment, and, yeah, I'll see you guys next time.